Hey guys, it's Pops from Bourbon Banter here with another review. However, we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're not going to be reviewing a bourbon. How is that, you ask, with a name like Bourbon Banter? Well, the reality is we're going to be checking out this year's Parker's Heritage Collection release, which is not a bourbon this year. It's actually a wheat whiskey. For those of you who are familiar with bourbon, bourbon has to be 51% corn or more. For wheat whiskey, it has to be 51% wheat or more. In this case, this one comes in exactly at 51% wheat, 39% corn, and 10% malted barley. So it's barely in the wheat whiskey category, so we'll see how that affects the taste. And it's 13 years old, which is right in the sweet spot of what many master distillers will tell you for an age for a whiskey. It's also cask strength, barrel proof if you will, coming in at a nice 127.4 proof. So this is a little bit of a beast, which is great. I really prefer my whiskeys to be barrel strength. It allows me a lot of flexibility when drinking those. Something else to take note on this is the exact same mash bill and juice that goes into Heaven Hill's Bernheim wheat whiskey, which is now going to be carrying a 7-year age statement. So this has 6 more years on it. So we'll see what the effect of that is on the whiskey. It's also the juice from the first year that those Bernheim barrels were laid down. It's kind of a treat in that way. We'll see exactly what those years do to it. I have never really been a huge fan of wheat whiskey. I mean, I'll drink it, it's fine. I don't seek it out though. It always has a little bit of a cereal note to it. I'm really hoping that the extra years on this will kind of tame that down a bit. And something else great about this, last year, if you remember, the Parker's Heritage Collection Promise of Hope bottle, they donated $20 of every bottle purchased last year to support ALS research in honor of Parker Beam. And this year they're going to continue that tradition and donate $5 for every bottle. Even in the event, if you get this and you don't like it, hey, you've got some money going to help a great cause, and I think you'll probably find some people who would help you drink this. That all being said, let's go ahead and dive into it and see if it lives up to the reputation of the Heritage Collection. Just a quick technical note, I've had this sitting in my glass, probably for about 10 minutes, letting it air out a little bit like I like to do. One of the first things that you can really note with this is it's got a great, rich, amber, coppery color, which tells you 2 things. One, it lets you know that it's of good age, 13 years in those barrels. The longer in the barrel, the deeper the color. And also the higher the proof. At cask strength here, we're going to have that deep color. If it was lighter color, it could be lower proof. So another good telltale sign of that. And when we give it a little swirl in the glass, it coats the edges of the glass with a really nice, almost silky set of legs, as we call it. It's just a little bit of liquor that sticks to the side. It's not too thick and definitely not too thin. So that's promising as well. So go ahead and give it a smell. Wow. You know, from the nose on this thing, you'd never know it wasn't a regular bourbon. You know, I know it's barely in the wheat category, but it smells fantastic. It smells like the type of bourbons that I really enjoy. It's rich, full-bodied, if you will. It's got almost a creamy caramel note to it. A little bit of brown sugar and some vanilla underneath there as well. And then you get baking spices layered in with the oak. I mean, it is 13 years old, so it's been in the barrel for a while, so you're definitely getting some of those oak notes. But they all, wow. And maybe just a little bit of a varnish or lacquer right underneath. It just kind of ties it together. Just beautiful in the nose. I think I could probably sit and smell that for about 20 minutes. But let's go ahead and give it a taste. Wow, that does not disappoint. That is, first impression is right spot on with the nose. Tip of the tongue is sweet, caramel-like. So it moves across the tongue. Good amount of spice, but not overpowering. A little bit of nutmeg, cinnamon in there. And as it goes to the back, it's got those oaky tannic notes that you get from the barrel. All in great balance. going to say if I have to nitpick at it, I think the tannic note's a little stronger than I'd like, but damn, that's really good. You know, for being 127.4 proof, this sure doesn't taste like it. You know, I'm a fan of barrel strength stuff, and I'm going to be a little bit more used to drinking it, but it doesn't taste that hot to me, not at all. The finish is it's long, still feel it going down, and starting to feel that surge back up, that warmth that kind of keeps coming and pulsing back and forth, which for me is exactly what I look for in a whiskey. So that's tremendous. Let's go ahead and see if we can add a little bit of water to this one. Since it is barrel proof, we're going to have some flexibility with adding water. You can really add as much as you like. There's no rule of thumb. Some people just a little bit in, put a drop or two in. I'm just going to put a splash in like that. You know, you can obviously add water to taste. You know, I would recommend maybe starting off a little bit and then just adding more and more till you get it to where you like. That's really the fun thing about barrel proof. You have lots of flexibility. Okay, adding the water is bringing out that secondary spice, nutmeg note a little bit more. Still smells fantastic. Wow. Takes a little bit of the edge off that tannic note that I was complaining about, or nitpicking about a few minutes ago. I don't know what else to say. This is just a great sipper. You know, blinded on the, if I was blindfolded in this one, I wouldn't even be able to guess it was a wheat whiskey versus a bourbon. It's that good. I don't get that cereal-like note that I tend to get from other wheat whiskeys. And, you know, I be honest with you, I wouldn't even have classified this as the same thing as the 7-year-old Bernheim wheat whiskey. It's just a totally different animal. So if you don't like that, don't pass on giving this a try. Wow. Kudos to Heaven Hill on this one. They did an excellent job selecting this and releasing this here. This is really phenomenal. And it's really a treat to get to try something that was from the first year that they put the barrels together for what would become the Burnham Wheat Whiskey. So that's really kind of cool. You know, Heaven Hill sent me this bottle to give it a review. And I appreciate, you know, that very much for giving us, all of us at Bourbon and Banter, a chance to try it. No strings attached. But I have to be honest, I'm going to go out and try to get another bottle, maybe 2 if I can get lucky. It's that good. It comes out, I believe, should be in some stores, but you know, already. Other markets will get it fairly soon. Retail price, suggested retail price, about $90. You know, it's a fantastic sipper. With fall coming up, this is exactly the type of flavor profile that I want to sit around outside out around the fire pit and enjoy with my friends. Get a lot of flavor, maybe a nice cigar to go with it. But definitely some good friends, good banter would take this even further up a notch. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend you get yourself a bottle of this. It's fantastic. Definitely lives up to the Parker's Heritage Collection tradition. And I definitely look forward to drinking this through the rest of the fall and into winter if I can find myself another bottle. So until the next review, everyone, we hope you enjoy what you're drinking, drink responsibly, and cheers. That's damn good.